What's going on, traders? How we doing? Welcome to Money Mitch. We're going to be getting into the Monday watch list, look at the sectors and see what moved. We were talking about solar stocks all last week. That's definitely going to be high on the list. We're going to get into Vizio. Vizio starting to move on up. We've been calling out this one from the 21. So now up a kind of it's a good move. It's up almost 15%. We're going to watch it keep going, see if it can continue moving. CCIV also call out, starting to get its motor going. We'll definitely keep an eye out on that. And the key is, there's no motor in that one. So we'll see how far it can really start getting a good push. We'll look at some reopening trades that are getting crushed right now. So definitely stay tuned, guys. And welcome to Money Making Mondays. Mitch.
It's time for Money Making Mitch. When investors need a story, we're going to the moon. Welcome to Money Mitch, where story is everything. I'm here to find you the next opportunity. It's all about the green hands. Now we all know the bull market is here to stay. Money Mitch.
What's up, traders? How we doing? Yes, we will definitely get into that body. You got to know that body. You guys know I've been getting it going all day. Definitely got to have that bang energy. Nope, unfortunately, no bang energy for me. I'll be more of a body armor type of guy. So you get that body armor. You get that? You get that body. Got to have that body. All right, let's keep it going. How we doing out there? Definitely, if you're new to the show, say hello. This is definitely where we have some fun. We're going to have a great show today. We're going to be talking all about some great solar stocks that have been making moves. I mean, we've been talking about the solar stocks here for about 2 weeks now, wondering when we were going to get this lift, and now you're seeing a major performance coming out of these solar stocks. So we'll definitely take a look at some of these big moves. The Celsius. No, I've had a couple of those, Roy. Those are pretty good, but definitely let's look into the SPY. Let's look at the overall market. What do we see out there in market sentiment today? We'll take a look here as we've gotten over this 422 level. I still remember on this day here on June 18th, the Ballard day, when everyone was panicking. But what did we do here on Money Mitch? We didn't panic. We said Watts has support, hold. Look for that support to hold the next day and for us to get a push back up to the shadow that it did on this day when it gapped down and opened down here. And yes, we filled that shadow and we haven't looked back from that day. This is why sometimes the panic levels, you got to hold off on that. That's what we did here on Money Mitch. We were looking for tech to get strong, and boy, has it gotten strong. Let's look at the Qs right now, see what we're seeing. Look at this lift up to the 353s today. We mentioned on the podcast. So, guys, if you haven't checked out my podcast, definitely look for it, guys. Money Mitch Daily Watch List podcast. I talked about where I was expecting the Qs to go today. Said if it could hold the 348s on pullback, I would love to see a push out through the 350s up there to 353. Today, we even get higher than that. We got all the way up there to 353.85. Now really starting to push on these Qs. Let's take a look at the heat map, see what we're seeing out there, see where the lift is really coming from. You see big stocks like Microsoft, Facebook, Baba, PayPal, Adobe, Netflix, one that we've been giving out for a while before it broke that $500 level, now up at 533, still trading up from that call out that we did last Monday when we heard about the Steven Spielberg kind of news. So let's keep a watch out today. Really, semiconductors are our leaders, really. I can talk about solar, but don't lose track of this move. This was a big move up. Nvidia moving up about 5.26%. We talked about it on the pre-market. We had like kind of this into the open hour with Money Mitch today. You guys missed that. I was trading the open. Looking forward to probably trading the open tomorrow. So if you guys want to hang out with that, let me know in the comments after the show. If you guys want to see me trade live tomorrow, I definitely will do that and be ready for it. Let's continue to see here. So if we see Nvidia, let's go ahead and take a look here at one of the leading moves. Also, I want to take a look at some of these bigger moves and keep your eyes on this one, microchip tech. This one's starting to get on my radar. So let's take a look at that Nvidia breakout. Nvidia definitely pushing on up there. And this one did a split and it didn't even look back. We talked about the Nvidia could continue strong, and look at that big breakout in Nvidia. One of the ones that is starting to look strong, AMD starting to get back up there. We were talking about, can it hold out of this pattern, and look at that strength that it did on that candle. Now really starting to push on up there. I think you'll eventually see AMD trying to test that high of 99. So definitely keep that one on radar. But MCHP is one that I'm going to put on radar here, guys. This is MCHP, Microchip Tech. Look at the daily chart on this one. It doesn't have a lot to run, so you got to be careful with this one. I'm not talking about a 20-30% move. I think this one could be more of a closer 10% move, but you could tighten down the risk side and then still get a nice reward on this one. I like the movement it's having. It's had a couple bounces, now really starting to push on up. We'll see if it gets strong through 154 tomorrow and continue to see that lift up there to 159. That's what I want to see, it make a big push on up. And we'll continue to watch some of these semiconductor stocks. Another one to keep your eyes out on, MU, making a big push on up off of that 78. Now really starting to gap up. That's really what you want to see when you have stocks getting momentum pushes. And really you're seeing that from these kind of chip stocks. Marvel, look at that gap up today, pushing on up there towards the 58. This one looking really, really strong. So I'm going to keep watching some of these and see if they can continue moving. ASML, big expensive stock, still trending on up, pushing towards new highs. So you're seeing the semiconductors definitely looking strong here, guys. All right, let's go ahead and let's start talking some solar stocks. I want to get into some solar stocks. Then I'll get into some stocks from the chat. Yes, EBU has earnings this week. We'll take a look at some of the earnings later in the week, but definitely MU on the radar. We'll keep watching it. All right, next one up. Let's go. Let's bring that energy. Let's keep it up. Next one up, let's get into some solar stocks. If you guys watched my podcast this morning, I gave out some solar stocks, and I've been giving it out also on Money Mitch all last week. One of my favorites, of course, MAXN. Let's first get into that one. This one was one that I actually gave you back when it was back down to the 17s again last week on the 22nd and also the 21st. We were looking at this one. Look how it's lifted up now, up through that 22nd, and really starting to look strong here as it's pushed on up today, having a 13% day on this one. This is MAXN. MAXN. Keep your eyes out on this one as it's really starting to push on up. We had some leaders in solar, so let's take a look at some of these leaders. JKS, look at Jinko Solar. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I wanted to see in solar, guys. That's why we were bringing up solar on Money Mitch, because we expected that rotation to come into play. And now you're seeing the play kind of react. This is why I like to bring it up beforehand, before we get these big candles, not after we get these big candles. If you guys go ahead and rewind, look into last week, we've been talking solar, and look at this lift in JKS. Nice day on it today, having a 23% day up in just one day after a strong looking day, a 13% day on that Friday move. We'll keep an eye out on this one. Another making a big move up that I talked about could be one of the big winners, SunPower. Look at SunPower today. Just today, guys, giving you an 11.8% move up. This is one that we talked about this morning. This morning on when I was trading into the open, we talked about how SunPower could really be one of those leading, pushing on up stocks. Another one that I gave in this sector, I said one of the leaders is ENPH. Look at the leader continue to run, kind of giving you that overall sector look. And ENPH also rubbing up today, 7% day. And for that being said, we talked about this one to see if it could continue running and get a lift. It was kind of on the downtrend. So SOL not having a bad day today almost a 9% day, 8.7% day. I'm going to see if this one can break out through 1028 tomorrow and see this one continue to lift. And these are sector rotations, so we could continue to see these move for the next couple of weeks. The big thing is you could get pullbacks, so watch on the weekly channel to kind of give you that eyesight of when you can get that big breakout. But look how the weeklies are really setting on up to really give us a lift. Let's look back at that big move that we saw on JKS, and you saw this kind of pressured look. If you draw a trend line here, let's go ahead and draw this trend line here. Draw this look. We're coming straight up to it and coming up fast. One of the things is this one did come off of a support down here. You can see that pushback, really that U-shaped look. And now you could get a pullback, let's say closer towards, let's say 49.50s, but that's not even a bad thing. If we can continue to keep trending on up, break through this trend line, and then get back up there to the 63s, we can push on up there. This one had a high of 90.20 on JKS. We could continue to see lifts on these stocks. SPWR, let's see what that one's really kind of pushing. Look at the weekly chart on this one. Downtrend straight down, breaking out of the downtrend right here, giving you that bullish engulfing candle right here. This is called a bullish engulfing candle when that bigger green candle eats up that red candle. And now you're starting to get that strong, you got multiple resistance here, multiple weak resistance that you broke out of, and now you're really starting to see that lift now up there at 30.68. You could see a pullback towards 29.29, maybe into 29.50s, but this is really starting to look strong. And let's take a look on the daily. Next stop for us when we keep pushing. Next stop for me is going to be looking up there towards the resistance up here towards 34.50s. So that's the next stop for me on SunPower. We'll see if this one can continue lifting. Great day there for SunPower. What do you guys think about these solar stocks? We've been talking about them for a while. Did you guys get in on any of these? I would love to hear about it. Trade along with Mitch. Hey, I don't like the name. I don't dislike the name. I might have to keep that one on radar. All right, guys. So how we doing out there? How's the trades? Some of the best investments stocks right now: TSP, GDDY, DraftKings, NIL, CCIV. Not some bad ones, Happy. I can tell you I have one of those, and we'll just talk about it coming right up. All right, guys, we're going to get into CCIV when we return. Definitely smash the like. I got a great stock to give you guys today. It's right here at the bottom. I want to give it to you guys, but we need to get up there to the 50 likes. So smash the like button. And when we return, we'll continue into CCIV and seeing that motor start. And then we'll talk a little bit about Vizio and why I think this one can really start motoring.
I tell all my CEOs, this is a very, very, very important platform. And look, all the other platforms are important too, but you're up there now. You're way up there.
Best investments you can do in your future is actually go and re-educate yourself on credible sites and credible resources like Benzinga. I think you guys have been killing it.
The comment section on this show is remarkable. Like the quality of the combo, and just big shout out to you and your community.
So I love about you guys, you just had all your callers in right then. And it's all about the community here at Benzinga.
What's up, traders? I see the likes getting on up there. We're at 55. Let's keep pushing. Let's see if we can get towards 100. I'm already going to get you that stock, but definitely, guys, if you guys appreciate me going through these stocks, give me a thumbs up. I'm going to be also doing, in a second here, we'll be taking stocks just from the chat. So if you guys are watching on the Twitter, definitely go on over to our YouTube. Put some stocks in the chat. Let me know. I'll definitely take a look at some of these. Renasola, definitely. We'll keep an eye out on that one. The solar stocks are DOPE, dope, says Manny. I can't blame you. Definitely dope. The paper hands. Paper hands. Paper hands, Mitch. They're calling me out there. Kevin, hey, we'll keep battling. What do you mean? I'm not paper handing in CCIV at least right now. Let's take a look here at CCIV. Getting a nice lift today. You guys, I got in this one on Friday after the news announcement and getting it in closer towards kind of a pullback look. So now I'm really feeling strong. We've broken out of this trend, gapped up today and holding sideways here at this 27. I want to see this one break through 2760 and really get on up there to 30. Once we get through the 30 level, we can really start pushing on up to resistance and maybe testing this gap that we have at 36. If that one could continue moving, I mean, we've been talking about a massive move up. So I'm going to definitely stay in this one right now. I think we could get a lift in here. And if the trend comes really into this trade, next thing you know, we could see this one pop up there to 33, 36, and then we'll be feeling great as we have an entry closer to 25.10 here, where we got a 25.22 and average. So we'll see if this one can continue moving. And that's CCIV, Churchill Capital. We'll see if this one can get that lift. One of the things that was announced is it is going to be transferring over near the end of July. So definitely keep this one on watch. I really, really am interested to see what happens in this one. So diamond hands are up. Diamond hands are up in this one. No paper hands for right now, guys. Until we get that reward, I'll hit the risk out or break even. But definitely, I am not selling right now. I think it could continue moving through this 27, up there through 30. We'll see if it can get that lift in the next couple of days. What's up? What's up? Let's see it. Let's get those likes up. Rock it on up. Hit the like. Hit the like. Let's see. The least you can do. What I want you guys to do is hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you guys want to see. If you guys got some stocks you guys want me to go in depth in, I definitely will take a look. Amir talking about BB. I know it did have a good look. I'll definitely take a look in a second. I'll write that one down for you and get towards BB towards the end. Let's get into a little bit more. I think Churchill, one of the things that happens here is you see the weekly. Look how the weeklies kind of really come and started to look like it wants to cross over. I would really like to see this one cross on over and really get a rip up day up there, let's say towards 32, 33, and then you'll probably see this cross on over on the MACD on the weekly and really start looking like it wants to trend back up to those levels where we got up to a high of 64.86. It would be definitely interesting to keep on watch. All right, let's go ahead. Let's get into some of these from the stocks in the chat. I want to get into that, and then I'll get into Vizio. One that we just brought up, BB. Let's take a look here. BlackBerry with a good pullback on the weekly. I definitely say the weekly looks like it's going sideways. Had that nice indecision. Could get some lift up through this high. Let's say through what's this close here? This close is 12.12. Let's see if that kind of holds on the downside and then pushes up through the high here of 13.57. Let's take a look at the daily, see what we're seeing. Really a sideways trend coming on its way back down. If you draw a trend line, that's what I do like, is that you're coming straight to it and holding a pattern. When it holds a pattern, at least you can call your out, right? And so now that you have this kind of real symmetrical look, let's take a look at the hourly and get even a closer look. So we've been moving from the daily to the weekly to the hourly, and we're going to keep moving down until we can get a closer and closer look into this stock. So you see it's holding that resistance here that it had on a push out, and that's kind of going to be the support here for us. So we're going to look for that support to definitely hold. Now, one of the things is, you see on the hourly how you've gone above this trend line, then below it, above, below it. Now let's see if we can get above and hold sideways here. So we really want to get above this and get towards the 13s. Then we can start testing back up towards 13.38. It's not a bad stock to keep on radar. I'm going to definitely keep it on watch for us and see if you can get the motor moving tomorrow. You would need to get a lot of volume to move BlackBerry, but I'll keep this one on watch, and I'll add it here at the bottom here on my radar. So definitely keep it on watch. BlackBerry, guys, this is BB. And let's start going through some other stocks in the chat. I see BBW, Shaka coming with the BBW. Let's take a look here. Build a bear. Build a bear. Oh my God. Who's building a bear? When's the last time you built a bear, guys? I would love to know if anybody has built a bear in the last year. But definitely hard candle turnaround. Not what you wanted to see. Looks like some people sold into the profits there, into that move, into that rip up that you got. Just be careful now, because if you don't hold support when it gets down towards, let's say, 16.13, you could really crack down and come back down really quickly towards 10.70. Just be careful. Not my kind of candle. I wouldn't try to catch this and see it come right back up, just because it doesn't happen often. If you look at patterns like this, when a stock does this candle, this is actually a bearish engulfing candle, a really negative sign to see near the top, and a strong candle on the downside with some big volume, also more volume than it traded the day prior. So you could have seen some selling into the profits. All right, let's keep going. Let's see some other stocks here mentioned. BBBY, as we've been going through all these B stocks, might as well just keep it going. Bed Bath & Beyond. Where are we going? Let's take a look at the hourly. All right, so the hourly has it kind of just really going sideways. Not much action, but it could get going because it's kind of a reopening mall play that could kind of really start getting some lift. One of the things that I would point out is let's see the support here. If this support's holding and it's getting through that level, really, I mean, you could draw it down maybe towards the wick, but really we haven't gotten up through these high wicks that we got multiple times. So I want to see some strength through the 3180s. That's not far. So let's see it get up through this level, get up and test these two wicks, these two high wicks, and really push on up through that 32 level to really see this one get bullish and start pushing on its levels, maybe getting back up towards 33. And then from there, you can make a run up towards 37. That's BBBY. Not a bad one to keep an eye out. Nothing that I would maybe jump into right now, just because I'm seeing multiple lows, multiple high wicks, and that could also just be selling pressure going into that. All right, Airbnb. Let's go ahead and let's get into it. Sam, talking about the Airbnb. Looking like you want to get out on the beach, man. I can't blame you, Sam. Airbnb. I have been looking at some Airbnbs myself. I know I'm not the only one. The only question is, can we continue to see a run up? I think you might see a retrace in this one. It should continue on up. That's where I get kind of confused on this one, because to tell you the truth, if I was just to kind of look at this off of the chart, you know, I could see it kind of getting back up there, but really it's not looking like it wants to kind of break out through this resistance. This 154 multiple times has been fighting, and we haven't tested this 121.50. It's on the downside. So you could get a crackdown to test that 121.50 before we get a ultimate breakout in Airbnb. Now, one thing I would state is look at this down here, guys. If you draw kind of a daily from this low, and then you could draw kind of these wick looks, it looks like we just cracked it. And then we were kind of holding this pressure, holding this sideways action. And today we went back down towards the support. So it really needs to hold that 145. If not, it could come back testing that 129 look. It's not a bad looking stock. I was even looking to get into this one last week, but I just don't see that kind of quick action that I want to see, the quick pop out. And so this kind of sideways action is kind of testing that support. I think it could test it, and it could break on the downside. I'm really not going to jump in this one right now, but I'm going to wait to see if this one kind of sets up for a later move. All right, guys. Clove. Yogi's asking if there's any chance in the Clove. I'll definitely take a quick look in the Clove, and then we'll get into Vizio and then some of the reopening trades that did get crushed. Clove, I don't think so, man. This one's tough. It's a tough chart to call. Not much there, and the volume decreasing almost every single day. Not a good sign, man. Not a good sign. Not a good sign, Yogi. It's not a good sign when we see that retrace right here. Look, this is one thing that you want to see. So you got a big volume pop, right? Right here on June 22nd. Then the lift starts coming. You're getting that lift action. You want to see the volume continue to grow into the move as it continues to break out. Now, when the volume decreases and it comes to a support, you want to see a nice volume pop, as that hopefully means that some bulls are jumping in on support. Right now, the volume is actually going down into support. So you got 35 million shares traded. As it gets closer and closer towards support, we'll see if it gets a pop out day tomorrow, but definitely not looking the best. Not the best looking chart right now on my side. All right, what's going on? A Clove bag holder here. Hey, you got to know when to cut it if you're a bag holder. If not, then you got to hang around for the end. Wasn't Clove a pump and dump? Yeah, very much could have. Very much could have been a pump and dump. We'll keep an eye out. DM did make a day back. It needs to have 2 good days, I think, for us to get back up through that 1294 level, through that 13 for me to get bullish on this one. Multiple stop outs on this one. I've stopped out twice, guys. I haven't lost big, but I have lost on DM. So I'm going to wait for confirmation to get into this one. Not that I will get out of my sight, but I'm going to put it on a weekly, and I'm going to wait to see a nice big green bar come into this one before I get in it. So I'm going to leave DM right now, and I might come back. All right, guys, let's go ahead and take a look at some other stocks, see what we see. The MAXN Bumble doing pullbacks today. I did see that. WKHS. Let's see if it continued to pull back. I know it was pulling back early in the day. It looks like it ended the day, or at least ended the day green. Nice little pullback. Nice little pullback off of the support here today, 159.50s. That's what we were looking for it to hold. And it kind of held that today. Went towards a low of 159.28, recovered there, getting back up there towards 161. We'll see if this one pushes back up there. Nice trend line. Let's see if this one gets a nice rip out tomorrow. I'll keep an eye out on Match. Bumble, that's BMBL. We'll keep an eye out on that one also. Retracing today. Did it finish the day green? No, I kind of did that red-green, that red move. This is kind of a U-turn, so make sure that this one kind of turns back around completely before you kind of get crazy in Bumble. But Bumble had a good last week. I mean, it had like 5 straight green days. So we'll see if it kind of turns around and keeps moving. Justin, I got you guys. Definitely always here to back you guys up. If you guys ever have a question about trading or any of my look, and I'll definitely get into that AI. I'll definitely talk about that. But hit me up on Twitter, guys. You guys know where I'm at. Money Mitch on Twitter. Story Investors. Hit me up. And I got a question here in the chat that's an interesting one that I actually gave out for a long-term play. All right, so guys, so this is a long-term play, but I'll talk about it because it was mentioned in the chat. Discovery. I'm putting it for long-term, guys. This is definitely not something that I would call out normally on Money Mitch because this is a little bit longer term. I'm looking at this stock for the next kind of 3 months going into kind of the fall and winter time. So we'll see if this one can kind of get that lift. This is DISCA. I don't mind it off of that low, that 28.89. You got a little pullback today. Nice lift. Let's see if this one can get back above 31. 31 is going to be an important level. If we can pull back, kind of get closer towards this level, this 30.24, and then really start lifting, I would really be interested in Discovery. DISCA is the one I'm looking at. So that's not a bad one to mention. Definitely going to keep a watch on this one. What's the time frame, Billy, that I show on my charts? I always talk about it, so just pay attention. I'll say like the daily, the hourly, but I definitely change up. I don't just use one kind of time frame. I use weekly, dailies, hourlies, 15 minutes, and 1 minute and 5 minute. I don't use the 30 that often, and I don't use kind of the monthlies that often, but I definitely will take a look at some times like this. Look how this one's kind of more of a monthly approach. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4 months up. 1, 2, 3, 4 months down. That's kind of why I like DISCA, because it has that look, that same kind of equal symmetrical look. Couldn't come off this support and then really start pushing back up. So definitely keep this one on watch. I'll keep watch. I got you, Billy. You got to use them all. You can't just use one time frame. I always see traders using one time frame, maybe just the 1 minute and kind of looking back. I use 1 minute to get my entries, but I'm really looking for daily levels, hourly levels for a stock to get into so I can get it in on the cheap. I don't want to get it on the expensive. And so that's what I use when I try to tackle down stocks. All right, let's go ahead and keep going. Let's get into Vizio, so I can wrap up the day. We already should be wrapping up here, but I'll go a little extra time for you guys. This is one that we called out in the $21 level. So we're talking back down here. Let me go ahead and just put a small square here so you guys can see exactly where we got in this one. And now we're really starting to look strong. This one had an indecision day on Friday, now getting up to this high here, this 25.70, this resistance. Now let's start pushing and try to get that 28.80. We can get up there towards that 28.80. This will be a massive win for us. We're looking to go ahead and take some profit as we get through these levels. This 26, I might take some profit, but it's looking so well right now. I think I might hold on a little bit to this one and see if it can really get a lift. Last time I got a stock to really make this move in a stock like this is when Fubo really kind of breakout. So I'm looking to see if Vizio can really get a breakout tomorrow. Fubo not looking bad either. And then I saw Roku not having a bad day. So I'm going to keep a watch on Roku to see if it can continue lifting. But now we're up there towards 1440s. And I gave a 500 price point for Roku. Man, what a lift from those 330s now up there towards the 440s. We'll see if this one can continue ripping. But a pullback could happen. But with that being said, I'm still calling out Vizio. I'm still thinking it still has some room to grow. And today on that sideways action, great looking candle, great chart. I'm going to be watching this one to continue pushing on up. One of the things is we did get a volume spike on Thursday on that big candle, a nice little spike past the Friday volume. Let's see if we can get another spike up towards, let's say 1.7 million and pushing on up there through the resistance, getting towards 27 tomorrow as we attempt to get through this wick, which is 27.62. All right, that's going to be VZIO, Vizio Corp. This one could continue running and could be a rocket, guys. So definitely keep your eyes on this one. I'm happy I get this one at 21. That keeps my hands off of it. I thought about adding to this position today as it was pulling back. Maybe it would have been a good add, but I'm just going to keep my hands and off of it, because the next thing you know, if you add, you might very much become paper hand really quickly. So I got the diamonds on this one for right now. Let's see if this one can continue moving and make a lift on up through that 26 tomorrow. We'll see if it keeps on lifting. Thanks, Vizio. Hey, if you got this one, I'm definitely in this one. I'm going to keep in it, and you guys hang around, and we'll see if we can continue to see this one lifting on up. All right, guys, that's going to be it on these stocks. Let's go ahead and let's get you guys the stock that you guys hit the like button for. So definitely, guys, hit the like. We'll be wrapping up here, but let me see how many likes we got. See where we're at. We're at 102. That's what I wanted to see, guys. Over 300 people watching. We'll be doing this also tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern. I put out a podcast every morning at 9 a.m. Eastern through Benzinga, or you can go on any major podcast platform, Spotify, Apple, and find that watch list. Definitely also watch me. More than likely going to be trading the open tomorrow at 9:30 on Benzinga. So you guys know how to do it. How do you know when to hold overnight? I usually sell for scalps. That's good to know, Billy. And I understand that approach because I used to day trade. So I know how that looks. So one of the things is I use a lot more of daily and hourly charts than I think majority of retail traders use. A lot of times when they use kind of these hourly charts, they get kind of confused and they don't know how to tag stocks. But really, I mean, this is how I go ahead and get in some of my best entries. Like let's say this CCIV entry that I got in near 25.10, an ad got me close to 25.22. Biggest key was using the 1 hour support to attack a support to get in there. It was this resistance that I attacked that I wanted to see become support, and that's why I went into that. So you got to use those levels. It's all about using the levels and deeper time frames so that you can give yourself an advantage when you see that, let's say that hourly support there at 25.10, you want to see a good reaction on that. Let's see here on the 5 minute, see how it reacted near that 25.10. Look how it came back down. It scooped it, came to it, scooped, came back, pushed off. That's what you want to see. Those kind of levels, that rejection, those kind of levels are very important. The way you see those levels is using an hourly and a daily chart. That's going to help definitely find those deep levels so that you can go off those levels and make your own risk to return decisions. Like always, guys, this is always just for informational purposes, not for investment advice. You guys, this is what I do, guys. I try to get you guys the process and learning how to get at these, how to judge the news flow and really get on with the story. But it's always about a combination of timing your technicals with your story. And that's why I'm saying the CCIV can continue moving. That's why I think the solar stocks are going to continue moving. MAXN, one definitely to keep a watch on, as this one has gotten very strong out through the days And if you can look at the daily chart, look at that big breakout. We got JKS with a big move, so continue to see that one to see if it continues to lift, give you some big lift in the industry. And for that being said, let's give you guys the gold spot. The next one to watch for me, and this is a smaller one to watch only, and I'm only going to put this on watch for tomorrow because it's a cheaper stock, and I do not want to see people kind of go out of their element and going into stocks that have a little bit higher risk. But I do think this one could take off tomorrow. SPI Energy here. So let's take a look here and see what we're seeing on the daily. On the daily, we got a sideways trend right here, guys. It's going off of kind of a prior resistance, and you could say a support a little bit down. But one of the things is it's holding this 650 multiple times. And I've been seeing this kind of trend that we're trying to break out of. The real key tomorrow is, can we get through the $7 price point? I think if this one could get through the $7 price point, you can see it just start squeezing. You start pushing on up there through the 750s, then get up there toward the $8 price point. Let's see if this one can get a lift tomorrow. Like always, if it breaks towards that support, that 656, you might need to definitely get out. So keep your eyes on this one. I do think this one can move, but it does have the support right underneath it. Now let's see if it can get pumping tomorrow. And this one's in that energy sector that got a little lift today. So we'll see if this one gets a move. Of course, I'm also in RSI. Want to see this one start getting its motor going. Look at this daily chart, how you got this kind of action. It really looks like a cup and handle. This is the cup. Now we're getting our handle. I'm looking for a breakout in this one. I got an average close to 1280s in this one. I've been averaging down into this one and really building up a position right underneath it now. Let's see if this one can continue to push and rip on out. And that's RSI here. Rush Street Interactive. I actually just used their platform, their sports betting platform here in Colorado. So shout out to them. Not a bad platform. Definitely giving me some good bonus money. So I'm definitely going to be using that up. Been having some fun. Like always, guys, you guys can catch me on Twitter. Hit me up there. Let me know what stocks you guys are taking a look at. And if you guys got any big winners, I always like to hear stories. So let me know in the comments below. I'll bring you on Money Mitch. We'll talk about that winner. So definitely smash the like button. Hit the subscribe bell. You guys know where you guys are at. Benzinga, Money Mitch, none other than the one and only. And I'll tell you one thing, guys, if this bull market is here to stay. I mean, I know a lot of people got a little scared on even the SPY action, but look at the last thing that we've been getting, guys. Bull market is here to stay, guys. Definitely a push on up there. Big lift in the SPY. We've seen that big breakout in the Qs. And I'll tell you right now, guys, if there's an opportunity out there, Money Mitch is here to help you guys find the next opportunity stock. Smash the like button. Kramer, it's okay. It's okay, my friend, to retire. I'll take over from here. We'll see you next time, guys, on Money Mitch.
It's time for Money Making Mitch. When investors need a story, we're going to the moon. Welcome to Money Mitch, where story is everything. I'm here to find you the next opportunity. It's all about the green hands. Now we all know the bull market is here to stay. Money Mitch.